forgiveness. I do not seek your forgiveness, but you do need to forgive. I do not crave your love, but you do need to love. I do not want your compassion, but you do need to be compassionate. Without forgiveness, love, and compassion, misery will follow you around as surely as the cart follows the horse. So, we don't just forgive for others, we forgive actually for ourselves, because we'll end up being miserable otherwise. It's just not good to carry it around. But what is the key? The key to forgiveness, I believe, is understanding. Because without understanding, it's really very difficult to forgive, isn't it? So, I'll use a story to kind of explain. So I heard about this lady who's lost her son to like a stabbing. You know, you get these stabbing knife crimes all the time with gangs and everything. So her son, who was about 16, 17 or something, had been stabbed by another boy who was around the same age. And the trial happened, and she went and she heard, and obviously she was angry and upset and everything. And then she heard all about, you know, his life, the criminal's life, and, you know, how he had no family and how awful it had been for him, you know, just having nobody. And that's how he'd ended up getting involved with the gang and everything. And she started to visit him then in jail, just to help herself understand and to help herself forgive him, which is quite, you know, commonish. People do that, don't they? And then obviously the more she went to visit him, the more she got to know him, and the more she started to understand him. And this went on for years. And then finally it came near the day when he was going to be released, and she went and asked him, you know, where are you going to go? And he said, I have nowhere to go. That he had nobody, he had no friends, he had no family, he had nobody, which is obviously how he'd ended up in such a mess. And she invited him to live with her. And then he became like her son. So I think that is true forgiveness, isn't it? That is such a amazing story, I think, really. So yeah, but obviously she couldn't have done that without really, really understanding how horrific his life had been and all the events that had led up to that. And that's what made him do it. So I really do feel like understanding is the key to a lot of things, because it's hard to hate somebody if you can really understand why they did what they did. And I think, I've never heard anyway, maybe I'm wrong, but I've never heard of a happy, peaceful person who's committed a horrible crime. You know, that they're not happy people, are they? The people who hurt others, they're hurting inside themselves, and they're just lashing out. So yeah, I really think that you have to remember that, you know, no matter how much somebody hurts you, if you can understand why they did it and where they're coming from, you will have to forgive them for both of you. And then let it go and move on.